Welcome back to Poorly Educated Today in the News, the only show where global war, government chaos, and your rising gas bill all get explained with the same level of concern as a busted lawnmower. If it feels like everything's happening at once, that's because it is, and we're going to sort through the madness the only way we know how, slightly confused, mildly concerned, and probably a little too comfortable with how weird things have gotten. Segment 1: Gas prices and war drums getting real loud. Well, folks, if you woke up and thought, hey, gas feels expensive, congratulations, you are now participating in a global war economy, whether you signed up or not. The United States is now knee-deep in a full-blown shooting war with Iran, and it ain't one of those quiet ones where you just send strongly worded emails. It's missiles, oil fields exploding, and everybody suddenly remembering where the Strait of Hormuz is on a map. Oil shot up past $100 a barrel, which is economist talk for you're about to start budgeting like it's 2008, but with worse vibes. And I swear, every time somebody says stability in the region, what they mean is hold on to your wallet, and maybe your sanity too. Now Iran ain't just sitting there taking it either. They're launching strikes on Saudi oil fields, basically treating global energy like it's a game of whack-a-mole with gasoline prices. It's like watching two guys in a bar fight, but every punch raises your grocery bill. And somewhere out there, some oil executive is smiling like a raccoon that found an unlocked trash can. Underneath all the chaos, though, this is the kind of escalation that doesn't stay contained, because once shipping lanes start getting messy, everything from your cereal to your truck tires gets more expensive. So yeah, your gas pump is now a geopolitical scoreboard. Segment 2: Congress plays chicken while the government runs on fumes. Back here at home, the federal government is basically running on fumes and vibes because the Department of Homeland Security has been partially shut down for over a month. That means TSA agents, FEMA workers, Coast Guard folks, all showing up to work like it's a volunteer bake sale, except instead of cookies, they're handling national security. Meanwhile, ICE is still fully funded, so if you're confused about priorities, don't worry, so is everybody else. It's like having a truck where only one tire is brand new and the rest are duct taped, and then wondering why it drives funny. And while all that's happening, Congress is locked in a fight over this Save America Act, which is basically turning voting into something you might need a folder, a notary, and your grandma's birth certificate to participate in. President Donald Trump is pushing it like it's the last biscuit at a family dinner, saying nothing else gets passed until this does. And you got senators arguing like cousins at Thanksgiving, with threats, pressure, and just enough chaos to make you wonder if anyone's actually driving the bus. The real issue underneath all the yelling is that when government grinds to a halt, it doesn't just stop working. It starts breaking in weird places you don't notice until it's too late. Segment 3: Courts say slow down while everyone else hits the gas. Now the courts have stepped in like that one referee who shows up late but immediately starts blowing the whistle. Federal judges are blocking major policy moves, reinstating over 1,000 Voice of America workers, and stopping a big shakeup to vaccine schedules. Basically saying, hey, you can't just rearrange the whole system like it's your garage on a Saturday afternoon. And I gotta say, nothing says America quite like one branch of government doing donuts in the parking lot, while another one is trying to put up traffic cones. At the same time, the Supreme Court is looking at mail-in ballots, and depending on how they rule, you could have millions of votes getting tossed based on timing technicalities. It's like mailing a bill and finding out it doesn't count because it arrived 5 minutes late, except the bill is democracy. Beneath all the noise, what you're really seeing is a system under stress, where rules that used to be boring are suddenly the most important thing in the room. And when everything becomes a legal fight, you stop governing and start litigating your way through reality. Segment 4. AI boom, job bust, and your wallet gets confused. Meanwhile, in the tech world, artificial intelligence is booming so hard, it's basically eating the rest of the industry like a hog at feeding time. Companies are pouring billions into chips, data centers, and robot dreams, while at the same time laying off workers like they're cleaning out a garage sale. Atlassian just cut a big chunk of its workforce, and you know it's serious when layoffs start sounding like strategic investments. It's like replacing your whole farm crew with one really smart tractor that occasionally forgets what a fence is. And here's the kicker. All this AI demand is causing shortages in basic tech parts. So things like gaming consoles and electronics are getting delayed or more expensive. So on one hand, you got trillion-dollar AI ambitions, and on the other hand, you can't even get a reasonably priced SSD. It's like building a spaceship while running out of nails. Underneath the hype, the reality is we're shifting into an economy where efficiency is king, but that efficiency comes at the cost of people who used to do the jobs, and nobody's quite figured out what happens next. Segment 5. Storms, Chaos, and Nature decides to join the show. As if all that wasn't enough, Mother Nature decided to clock in and say, "Hold my beer," because a massive storm system just tore across the country like it had something personal against power lines. We're talking blizzards dumping over 4 feet of snow, tornadoes ripping through towns, and 500,000 people losing power like somebody tripped over a national extension cord. It's the kind of weather that makes you question every life decision that led you to not owning a generator. And what's wild is how it all stacks together. Because when you've got infrastructure already stressed from everything else, a storm like this hits harder. It's like your house already creaking and then someone decides to start jumping on the roof. The grounded truth here is that these systems are all connected: weather, energy, supply chains, and when one goes sideways, the others don't just sit politely. They pile on, and suddenly you're dealing with problems that don't fit neatly into one headline. Segment 6. Baseball, politics, and the weirdest timeline possible. And finally, in a moment that feels like it was written by somebody who lost a bet, Venezuela beat Team USA in the World Baseball Classic. Now, normally that's just sports, but right now the United States literally invaded Venezuela a couple months ago. So this wasn't just a game. This was geopolitical theater with bats. Imagine playing your neighbor in a softball game right after you repossessed his house. That's the level of awkward we're talking about. The game was close, emotions were high, and you could practically feel the tension through the TV like static electricity. And here's the thing. Sports are supposed to be an escape, but sometimes they turn into a mirror, showing you just how strange the world has gotten. Underneath the absurdity, it's a reminder that even when countries are at odds, people still show up, compete, and try to make sense of it all. It's weird, it's uncomfortable, and honestly, it's about as 2026 as it gets. In conclusion, the world right now feels like it's running every problem at once on maximum difficulty: war overseas, gridlock at home, technology flipping the job market upside down, storms knocking out power, and even baseball turning into a political statement. And somehow, we're all just supposed to wake up, go to work, and act like this is normal. But maybe that's the most American thing of all. Just keep moving, keep laughing, and keep trying to figure out what the hell is going on.